Okay, well, feel free to stay like that or to return to your previous avatar. And we're going to talk a little bit now about archetypes. Site is going to present, it's a kind of a follow-on to some of the ideas he introduced in the team building talk at the beginning of the semester. So Site, I'll hand over to you for the Principles You.
Okie doke. Let me get back up here. So I'm sitting on top of the slide with my new unprofessional wearing shorts and a tee and casual shoes male avatar. True story, I was in a class where I was told that the first thing women look at for any speaker on stage is their shoes. Women and men. If they have top-notch expensive shoes, boom, positive impression. If not, boom, negative impression. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's always made me nervous about my shoes ever since. Amber says true. Okay, what you're looking at is a diagram of something called the archetype archipelago. And John and I thought it would be useful to close with this for your penultimate class before your presentations. Principles You, talking points. Don't you want to know what you are like? Don't you want to know what others are like? This is the area called personality profiles. John called them personas. It addresses roles in life. It addresses roles on a team. The Belbin Team Roles, which we've already talked about, were started in the years 69 through 81 in the UK, based on business school studies. They came up with 9. The Myers Briggs Roles in life started in 1944 by a team of women psychologists who are trying to help women get into the industrial world. The Principles You is the newest expression started in 2021 to present day. Principles You groups 28 archetypes, which are listed on this diagram, into 10 categories which look like islands, which is why it's called an archipelago, representing a larger theme. The purpose is for each of us to explore types that we are similar to and types that we are not similar to understand ourselves and others in a new way. It helps you see areas of overlapping, partially overlapping, and maybe not overlapping at all, areas of interest and practice. It helps find communication mode currents between the islands that are shared between the different island clusters. It helps find ways to communicate across vast gulfs where your island has nothing to do with that island person over there, through intermediate currents, or maybe people you both know in some intermediate island. So let's talk about examples. Sitearm, me, register most strongly as an artisan. If you look on this, it's the first island on the left under creators, artisan. But I have smaller readings, still significant, under strategist planner, which you have to go over to the right and down. It's under architects. So most of me is on the creator island and a little bit of me is on the architect island. Interesting. And when I look at that, it's not bad. It kind of fits for my own personal experience and myself. So it helps me identify what I am like. I asked John to take the online profile. John comes out as inspirer. Inspirer? And I had to say, where is that? Well, that's the third island over under advocate. Inspirer is on the advocate's island. Well, how do I connect with John? I don't know yet. But he had also strong readings under impresario, an entertainer. And I thought, well, that fits because he's in the arts and tourism dean for years. Well, that's the enthusiasts island. So even John is on two islands, advocates and a little bit on enthusiasts. But if I look at that, I can see ways that we connect. I connect to John through the creative channel. Both of us are creative. You see that blue ocean current between the creator island and the enthusiast island. But I also connect with John through the leadership current, to his advocate style. And even architect and advocates are right next to each other. So it helps me understand John a little bit better and in a different way. I was pretty much stunned when he told me he came out as inspirer. Not that I'm not inspired by John, but I didn't even guess where he'd come out on this, and it was intriguing. So that's an example. And the reason John and I are telling you about this is that we recommend that you try it. John, over to you.
Thanks, Sitearm. So I've just posted the link to the website that allows you to try this test out for yourself. I have done, in the course of my career, I've done the Belbin test and I've done the Myers Briggs. We've done them at work. And they've actually produced similar results, interestingly. So it's quite good as a way of helping you to think a little bit about your strengths and your weaknesses. You want to be careful with all of these tests and not take them so seriously that you either get upset or get excited about what they produce. But they're a very useful starting point for you as an individual to begin to think a little bit about, what you're good at. And they're very useful in teamwork because they can help you identify the people that are on your team and what their strengths and weaknesses are, and try and balance the skills on a team. So we've given you the website address, and feel free to go along there. It's free, and you can go through the process yourself. There's quite a long series of forms to fill out to get a result. It takes about 5 minutes or so. But that's because they have to do lots of cross-checking in order to get this as accurate as possible and get you away from answering how you think you might be. So feel free to have a go with that and see how it works for yourselves.